Yo, what's good, everybody? It's One Poc with One Poc Book Club back again with another title for everybody to share. And today it is the I Ching. And if you're not familiar with the I Ching, it is an ancient Chinese philosophical text, otherwise known as the Oracle, and it has been used as a book of divination for since before the Bible was even written. And in fact, some of the oldest writings in human history were found in China on tortoise shells, and it was I Ching divinations. So before the Bible, before even paper to write on, the I Ching existed. And years ago, when I was a teenager, there's a Barnes and Noble in Santa Rosa, California, and the old adage of you can't judge a book by its cover. I think that's bullshit because you can judge a book by its cover sometimes. But anyways, so I was at the Barnes and Noble in Santa Rosa, California. I must have been 15 or 16, and at the time was I was living like around the corner in downtown by this Barnes and Noble, and I was there browsing one day, just browsing, and I saw the Wilhelm Baines translation of the I Ching, and I started flipping through it, and it was like a book I had never really seen before, and instantly I was drawn to it. So I took it home and started reading it, and it says in that translation that if you have this book, it found you, it seeked you out, and there's a purpose of you having it. And so when you go to, if you want to get into books or reading, all you really have to do, and this is what the book taught me, is that all you really have to do, and how I found so many great books over the years, but all you have to do is just go to a bookstore, a used bookstore, Barnes and Noble, and browse around, and I guarantee you, I promise you that there will be a title that will be calling out to you. You'll be drawn to some book, and that's books find you. You don't really find books. Books kind of maybe have a life of their own, and so if you go to the store and one calls out to you, definitely pick it up, and you won't be disappointed. There will be something in it for you that uh, either the universe, God, however you want to say it, wants you to know. So that's how I discovered the I Ching. At the time, I didn't know that it was used for divination. I didn't learn that till years later. I just thought it was a cool book. And so since then, I've had it, always had a copy. I actually have another copy here too. I mean, I don't have the Wilhelm Baines one, but it's still in the mail from Amazon. This one is the Taoist I Ching and I Ching mandalas, but this one is by Thomas Cleary, who is another. He's translated a lot of ancient philosophy books. He's dead now, but well, that was what he did. So any book by Thomas Cleary I read, I try to get them all. So this one is written by Thomas Cleary, but so yeah, the I Ching. This particular one is by Deng Ming-Dao, and it's just a translation. They say in ancient Chinese mythology, the I Ching was written by Fu Ji, and if you look up Fu Ji, they say that he was half man, half serpent. So he had the upper body and the torso of a man, but he had no legs. It was a serpent's body, which, kind of sounds familiar if you take it back to the Garden of Eden and those other types of stories from religion etc. So that's kind of has always interested me, just because if you're into the Bible and religion and everything and you tend to believe those stories, then there's just another example of a half man or a serpent. And so basically they say that Fuji wanted to discover the secrets of the universe, and it turned out he did discover the secret of the universe, and what he discovered was yin and yang, and he carved it on a stick, and from there the I Ching was born, or created, I guess. But anyways, so even mythologically, this book, yeah, Fuji was a trippy guy. And yeah, the secret of the universe is apparently yin and yang, which makes sense if you, I don't know, if you think about it, it kind of is a secret of the universe. I mean, it's not secret anymore, but there's definitely a lot of secrecy and mystery around it. If you really want to look into it, it's like a whole rabbit hole in and of itself. And when you look at the Chinese culture, even today, the Chinese culture is, yeah, they've just dominated. They're a global superpower, even rivaling the United States, and they're just, yeah, they're super mega powerful. And I believe that it's because of the wisdom and the knowledge that they've had over centuries, basically since even before the Bible. But this particular copy is Deng Ming-Dao, and basically, yeah, if you use this book for divination, I'll explain a little bit how to do that in a minute here. But another thing, years ago, I had the Deng Ming-Dao book, 365 Tao, and that's another really good book. I don't have a copy of it anymore, but he wrote this book, and I had picked it up at a used bookstore. And I've always been into ancient philosophies from all cultures around the world. And so I picked up 365 Tao, and read it and bookmarked several pages and really just got into it. And in the back of the book was the contact information for the author, Deng Ming-Dao, and it said San Francisco, California, and at the time I was in the Bay Area too, so I emailed him and asked if he was taking on students, because I wanted to learn. And he actually got back to me, and he said that he would possibly take on students, but that he would have to get to know me to be able to identify what it was I needed help learning or understanding, or just help with in general. So we ended up corresponding via email, and then I actually met him one day. We made plans to go to the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco. They had the Chinese clay soldiers on display, and so I met him down in San Francisco, and we had tea and walked around, and he was a super smart guy, knew a lot about all the exhibits, and taught me a lot. And yeah, I mean, I never thought that would ever happen, but I kind of lost contact with him over the years. But he's still out there writing. He's on Facebook writing. He's like a Tai Chi master, and yeah, super good guy. So that's a story about Deng Ming-Dao. And when he published this translation of the I Ching, I picked it up, and it's actually a really good one. So if you're looking for a good translation, the Living I Ching, Deng Ming-Dao, Super cool guy. And yeah, no, like I said, this translation is it's really good. But um, in terms of divination, if you use it for divination, it's pretty crazy how, yeah, you ask it a question. It can't be a yes or no question, but you ask it a question and you toss some coins and it will give you an answer. You build a hexagram, which is 6 lines of yin and yang lines, and it gives you an answer. And when you have the answer, you flip it to the back of the book right here. And let me see, where is it? So you toss your coins and you flip, and you get your answer. You flip to the back of the book, and you'll get one of 64 hexagrams, and you identify which hexagram you got, and then you basically go to that part in the book. You go to that hexagram and you read it, and it's what they call your judgment surrounding the inquiry that you have for it. And yeah, it's pretty crazy how it works. It's part of like your subconscious mind, or it works with that. And so yeah, I mean, I'd encourage anybody to use it. And they say like, oh, if you're like Christian or whatever, it's like we're not supposed to use divination or fortune telling or anything like that. But I'm a God-fearing man, but I still use the I Ching. And even if you go back to the Bible, like Moses and Aaron used Urim and Thummim to figure out what God was saying. So I mean, I don't really think God is gonna punish you or judge you if you're kind of in that way of thinking about if that's kind of preventing you from wanting to use something like this. But so yeah, basically I wrote this down earlier, and the 2-coin method is, they say the two, you can use two, they traditionally use yarrow stocks and 3 coins, or you may be familiar with the I Ching coins. They're those Chinese coins with the square cut out in the center of them. But I discovered the 2-coin method, and they say the 2-coin method is mathematically just as probable or just as random as using the yarrow stocks. So it's the most accurate way to, besides using the yarrow stocks, it's the most accurate way to get an answer over using the 3-coin method. So if you want to screen cap this or in the question or in the comments, I'd be happy to kind of help anybody who had any questions about it. But so yeah, basically you toss the coins and you're gonna get a 6, 7, 8, or 9, and you can see on the bottom of it's 6, 7, 8, and 9, and yang lines is a solid line and yin is a broken line. And so you basically do that. You get it to build your hexagram. You toss the coins and it will give you a number, and then you stack up your hexagram, and then, like I said, you turn it to the back of the book to get your answer. And it's pretty confusing. I mean, if you really want to know, you can look it up online, or like I said, I would be happy to email this to anybody. You can, my email is onepocbookclub@gmail.com. You can email me. You can take a screen cap of this. It's pretty hard to find. If you look up on Google the coin method, 2-coin method for I Ching divination, it will most likely give you the 3-coin method. So if you want to use the I Ching, yeah, I encourage anybody to use it and just see how it goes for you. It will probably surprise you. And yeah, like I said, no yes or no questions, but or if you just, this book I can't really recommend it enough. So I would and there's a number of translations out there for if you go on Amazon, obviously, but if I had to recommend one, I would just recommend this Living I Ching, the Thomas Cleary one. Obviously, I'd recommend, and it's just the thing about it is, let me see. I want to say this one was $23, so it might be a little cheaper on Amazon. The Thomas Cleary classic compilations of his translations are pretty expensive. But again, like the thing about books is I don't really, I've spent $60, $70 on books before just for one copy, and I've always considered it just it's an investment in yourself. So people want to talk about investing and bitcoins and all this shit these days about investing, and but if you really want to make a good investment, that's sure it's I would say an investment in yourself is always a good thing, and paying money for good books is super worth it to me. So anyways, there we go. That's it for today. And yeah, check out the I Ching. If you have questions, you can email me, comment, and I'll be sure to get back to you and answer any questions if I can. Super good book, super cool, and we'll see you next time.